What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, before we get into anything in this video, make sure that you like and share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all updates. Hit the post notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into it. We're gonna switch it up a little bit today, man. This is a bit of a uncanny, uneven debate, if you ask me my personal opinion. But my fiance came to me this morning with this little graphic here that I guess was going viral on Facebook or something, one of the social media platforms. And it basically was saying Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Kanye versus Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. Now, the graphic here, it basically says who did their big one or something like that. Off rip, I feel like this graphic doesn't tell enough of the story. Just putting together this little 3-verse-3 situation, it's not the entire story. So I'm gonna actually open up the criteria here, and we're gonna do basically Team Rock versus Team Young Money, because that's how this really works, right? When you talk about Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Kanye, you have to talk about the entire foundation of the rock, the people that came within that, the other artists that were involved, the other stars that were made. And then you got to go to Young Money. You got to go to Wayne, Nicki, Drake, some of the other people that were there, some of the other folks that stopped through there. We're going to give our overall impact from both sides of the spectrum and determine who I think has the stronger legacy. Now, of course, this is an open debate, so I want you guys to talk to me about this in the comments. Let me know how you guys feel about what I'm throwing out there. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have a different angle on how you see things? Let's have a talk, man. It's a slow news week. Ain't nothing really going on. Holiday, 4th of July. Everybody's about to get ready for the cookouts. So let's talk music. Let's talk shop. Now, before we start getting into the nitty gritty here, I want to go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. I love all of these artists that are in question, okay? They've all had wonderful impact on the game. They've all had amazing contributions. They've all had hit records. They've all had at least 1 or 2 possible classic albums per artist. So I don't want y'all to think I'm discounting or shortchanging nobody in this video. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you my answer before we even talk about it. It's easily Jay-Z. Hands down, no questions asked. It's Jay mother effing Hova. Okay? Now, why do I say that? Number one, if you just keep it condensed down to the graphic, one side is billionaires. The other side is not. Jay-Z, Kanye, Rihanna, all billionaires, all multi-platinum, all multi-Grammy winners, all have different records in their name as far as chart position, songs, hit records. They've all broken records. On the other side, you've got Wayne, Drake, and Nicki. They've also got Grammys. I think Nicki may have one. They all have hit records, platinum albums, etc. But they're not billionaires. I think Drake may be the closest one. I think Drake might actually be a billionaire on the low, and he's just not reporting it. Plus, you also have to understand, when you look at the dynamic between these two groups, I feel like Team Rock is more so the stronger legacy, where Young Money is trying to emulate what Rockefeller did, trying to emulate what Rockefeller created, trying to, push the mantle further for the foundation that was already set, basically to show that another dynasty could exist in hip-hop. Unfortunately, that dynasty was cut short because there was so much bad business being done behind the scenes on the Cash Money, Young Money side. Now, Wayne himself wasn't robbing his people, but Young Money was a subsidiary of Cash Money, which was a company owned by Universal. So you already are at a disadvantage when you start talking about longevity, when you start talking about quality of life, all of those different things that factor into an artist being able to function at their highest level. The Young Money, Cash Money side was already compromised before it was ever brought into existence. If we're talking bar for bar, skill for skill, I think Jay-Z and Kanye are a very strong competition for Wayne and Drake. When I look at the way Kanye was barring up on those first 3 albums, I'll say I give him College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation. I'll even put Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in there. Those 4 albums, bar for bar, you take all of Jay-Z's albums from, Reasonable Doubt, you go to In My Lifetime, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, you go to the Dynasty, the Blueprint 2, Black Album, Kingdom Come, American Gangster. Blueprint 3 I wasn't really crazy about. 444. That's a crazy discography, man. Like, I'm not going to say all of those albums have no skips, but I feel like at least 7 of those albums are like certified classics. Even if they're not your favorite songs, you bumping them bitches. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like he's already edging that out. Wayne, as dynamic as he is on screen, vocal delivery, punchlines, when you listen to his albums, there's no real structure there. Carter 1 had a little structure. Carter 2 had a little bit of structure. Carter 3, Carter 4, Carter 5. It's like as he got older in the game, he lost his passion for creating well-rounded projects. He lost his passion for making songs that actually relate to real people. He just started saying a lot of babble, and he's the best at it. He is the absolute best at it. This is why people love mixtape Wheezy so much, because he could just go in bar for bar and just go crazy over people's beats, and that's definitely his strength. He went on that feature run for probably 5-6 years straight. Amazing. Nobody could ever say anything, take that away from him. To this day, Wayne get on your song, he's going to body you and whoever else is on it. Hands down. But I think his greatest strength can also be his greatest weakness, because again, as he got older, more tenured in the game, you would think he would have gotten more seasoned, would have had more to talk about, would have had more subject matter, more experience to share. And it was like his earlier albums were the more personal ones, and the ones that are newer are just going in the studio and saying the craziest shit I can think of, and I hope you like it. When it comes to Drake, I think lyrical ability, I think he's on par with young Kanye. I think he can kind of teeter his way into the Wayne and Jay-Z zone, but he hasn't been consistently that person. He's never made one album that was just consistently showcasing that he is the absolute best in the genre. Out of 15 songs, he may have 5 that say, oh God, he's really rapping. And then you have 3 or 4 of them where he's singing and crooning and trying to make slow jams. That's never been the Drake that I liked. I know a lot of people out there would beg to differ. Then you have like the singles and stuff like that. The one album that he showed he was leaps and bounds above everybody, I think, was If You're Reading This It's Too Late, because he just came with banger after banger after banger, and he did a minimum amount of singing and just was bouncing all over the trap, talking his shit, talking his money game, and that was his strong point at that time. What we can't match Drake on, like I said, is the number of hits, the number of number one songs, the number of songs that stayed in the charts for 2-3 years straight. The fact that when he raps or does a feature with somebody, he could take an artist from literally their basement to the top of the charts. That is something we haven't seen anyone else in the industry really do. We haven't seen anyone else in the industry that really had a desire to do that. So you have to also put that as a notch under his belt, because you have people like Future that benefited from that. You have people like Migos who benefited from that. You have people like McConan that, despite his trajectory going backwards, he was literally one of those basement artists that got a feature from Drake, went to the top of the world, and I don't understand what happened after that. I think a lot of people were speculating he might have been homosexual or whatever. People started questioning his sexual orientation or his preference, and that was more so what killed his momentum, because at the time when he was out, we weren't as open-minded. But then you also got to throw people like Lil Baby in there. So I do think that Drake has a very strong case behind him. And then we get into Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, she kind of mirrors the trajectory of a Wayne, in my opinion. She came out really strong. Lyrically, I think she can stand up with the best of them. I just feel like she's at a position now in the game where she's still trying to prove herself, but the style of rap that we've kind of evolved into or transformed into, it doesn't really suit her the best, right? Even with a Red Ruby the Sleeves where she gets to bar out, or a Chun Li where she gets to bar out, which is the area where she flourishes the most, it tends to lack that extra punch that puts her really over the top. Not because it's anything necessarily her fault, it's just that the industry has moved on from wanting to hear bars. She drops a song like Super Freaky Girl and it has all of this pop capability, but then it takes away from the luster that we love of saying, damn, we really want to see Nicki Minaj rap. So she's like in a catch-22 where she can't seem to fully embrace her wins. She's also got a lot of blemishes in her armor because I just think that fans in general, I mean hip-hop fans, have a love-hate relationship with her because of her bravado. They don't like her attitude. They don't like how she's treated her female peers in the game over the years. It seems like she never really wanted to embrace anyone. She finally embraced Ice Spice after all these years. And of course, the Barbs feel like this is enough. They feel like this is exactly what people wanted. Now, why are y'all mad? However, I believe she had the same opportunity to embrace a Cardi B. I feel like she had the same opportunity to embrace a Lotto. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who really liked her and idolized her at a certain point, but then when they finally got to cross paths, things went a little funny. Then you go back to Team Rock and you look at Rihanna's career. And I think Rihanna, ever since Pon de Replay, I think that was probably her weakest release. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that project was. But ever since then, since Umbrella and everything like that, she has been at the top of the game. She set so many trends with her look. She set so many trends with her hairstyles, the tattoos, like putting the Orisha on her. You know what I'm saying? All of this different stuff. Multi-platinum, pop hits, Grammys. You can't really take her out of the equation. She's not in the hip hop world, so it kind of puts her in a different position. She's always kind of been neck and neck of trying to kind of reach that Beyonce status, which I don't think anybody's ever going to reach the Beyonce status because she's Queen Bee. But Rihanna has carved out her own space somewhere within that cosmos where she's kind of even exceeded some of what Beyonce has accomplished in terms of branding herself. But then once you go past those starting three, it starts getting a little shaky, right? Because on the Jay-Z side, you have so many other people that have been successful in the industry, not to the same degree, but just moments that they've created, albums. You have to put the Beanie Siegels in there. You have to put the Freeways in there. You have to put the Rick Ross, the Jeezys. They came from Jay-Z's lineage. He directly made things possible for them to exist at the level that they are. These are artists that were not getting the opportunities that they wanted or needed until Jay-Z stepped in because he was the head of Def Jam. They definitely fall under that umbrella. You have to factor in J. Cole, who was Jay-Z's first artist on Roc Nation. J. Cole has done amazing things musically. He's done amazing things on the charts. Album sales, he outsells pretty much every other artist despite not having as many radio hits. J. Cole now owns a part of the Charlotte Hornets, showcasing that he is on that Jay-Z trajectory. He has the Dreamville Fest where he gets to put on the artists that he likes, loves, and supports, and he gets to give them an opportunity to share in his fan base. You also have to put Wale in that conversation because, again, before Wale linked with Jay-Z, he was a dope rapper from DC. He was rocking with Kenny Burns, who was also a team member of Rockefeller. A lot of people don't understand how deep this stuff goes. He did that first deal. He had a different management team. He then went over to the Board of Administration or the Carter administration or whatever they were calling it at the time, which was the first iteration of what Roc Nation management was. And then Wale began to turn up. Then he went over to MMG where he put his albums out, but he was still being managed by Roc Nation. Things didn't work out as swimmingly as they could have because he was such an early experiment with that company. But we have to definitely put him in that family tree. And Jay-Z was a vital piece in introducing Wale to the world. Y'all just got to understand that during that Blueprint 3 tour, he took Wale and J. Cole around the world. J. Cole and Wale were touring. So keep that in mind. I would throw State Property in there, being that I'm an immense fan of their crew, but I won't throw them in there just for the sake of time, for the sake of, shattered dreams, I guess you could say. They were never able to fulfill their potential as individuals or as a group, so I won't put them in there, although they did have a lot of influence in the game at the time. I feel like the State Property movement definitely is what created Meek Mill. We also have to throw Meek Mill in that conversation, though, because he was also managed by Roc Nation. You have to throw Uzi Vert in there, also managed by Roc Nation. When Uzi wanted to get out of his deal over there, get away from Cannon and drama for whatever time, whatever they had going on, Jay-Z came through and made some things happen, cleared the pathway, cleared the runway up, put some money up, and freed him up, gave him some needed space. They've since patched things up, but Jay-Z has definitely come in and made big impacts on people due to his position, due to his relationships, and due to his resources. All of these people have to be mentioned. And since we're on that conversation, think about what Jay-Z has done for Lil Wayne himself. How could you ever compete with the master, right? After Carter won, Lil Wayne was going to sign to Rockefeller Records. Jay-Z had gave him a great offer, right? The only reason why Wayne did not leave Cash Money is because Baby allowed him to start his own label, Young Money. But then when you look at the business structure, right? When you go into Carter 2, Carter 3, and all of this stuff, Lil Wayne actually recruited the same people that were working at Rockefeller with Jay-Z, Kanye, etc. to come over and co-manage him. Hip-hop since 1978. G. Roberson, hip-hop. A lot of people don't know who hip-hop is. I'm a student of the game. Look him up. So we wouldn't have Lil Wayne as the most prolific artist of that time period without the help of people from Jay-Z's direct team coming in to assist him, to help him catapult to that next level. You could throw Tyga on Team Young Money, put the lime in the coconut, mix it all up. Rack City, I Think I'm Lil Wayne. He's got a bunch of hits. You could put him in the category, but as you can see, the firepower on Team Young Money has definitely fizzled out if that's who we got to put in the defendants. Some of the artists that have gone over to Cash Money or Young Money to, do some things. I know Game was going to be on that side. He was supposed to do some projects over there. Freeway was supposed to do some stuff over there. We have Rich Gang and all that, but that's actually Cash Money. That's not Young Money, so that takes him out of the equation. And I know there's people probably out there like, oh man, you're talking about all of this influence. You're talking about the affluence, the money, the billionaires, him coming to people's defense, him doing all of this stuff. You can't not factor all of that in, because music itself is very subjective, right? You and I, whoever's watching this, we could listen to the same album and walk away from it with 5 different perspectives. I think this, I like this song, I don't like this song. And everything that I say, you could naturally just be like, I'm the complete inverse of everything you said. But then when you break things down into influence, numbers, longevity, legacy, you can't really dispute those things, because those are the things that are going to get etched in stone. Personally, I thought the conversation and debate was offensive to Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, when I saw it. But I was like, you know what, I'll talk about this. I want to see if people are interested in having a conversation about this. Again, there's not a lot going on that's worth talking about in the music and entertainment game right now. It's a slow week, so why not? Not to mention Roc Nation Sports, right? They've got their hands so deeply embedded into all things culture and entertainment. These are things that are coming directly from Jay-Z's impact. Not to mention his connection with the NFL and the Super Bowl, curating the performances for the last few years. He's completely revamped what the Super Bowl looks like, actually getting people that we want to see on that screen, transforming the New Jersey Nets to the Brooklyn Nets, to a team that people actually cared about. I know he's no longer affiliated with the team. I know he hasn't been there for some time. I know he's not responsible for bringing Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving there during their tenure. But it was his hard work and ingenuity, his involvement in bringing that team to Brooklyn, changing the look of the team, getting those black uniforms, making them an actual contender in New York, that gave them the momentum to where they could get to that space. All of the different artists and performers that he had at the Barclays Center to get the Barclays Center to become an attraction instead of Madison Square Garden. There's a lot of legwork that had to go into that Jay-Z and his team actually put forth. You cannot discount these things from the conversation. If you want to keep it strictly music, I think Jay-Z has the better music. I think Kanye has the better music. I think Drake has the most well-rounded music. He has the most commercial success. But there's a lot of people out there that criticize Drake for not reaching his musical potential, despite as great as he is. At this point, I'm starting to feel like I'm speaking into the void. So let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. Definitely share it. Send it to somebody that actually loves music. Send it to somebody that actually cares about the mechanics of music, the influence, the longevity, the legacy, people that really are into the culture. Send it to somebody, man. Let's have a conversation around this. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the post notification bell so you get all updates on future content. And I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Y'all stay safe out there during the holiday. Peace. Beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the content. Make sure that you're liking and sharing these videos. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the post notification bell so you get all updates. For all of my artists, my artist managers, songwriters, producers, etc. If you need a little bit of extra help with your career, man, make sure that you visit pengameelite.com, okay? That's my website and my community for all upcoming rising music creators. I got 2 books on there, the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 1 and 2. They're going to give you a lot of insights into the music industry, how to monetize your career, how I make my money off of music, because I am a full-time artist outside of doing YouTube videos. If you need some direct help, you can also book a consultation with me on the Pen Game Elite website. And I also have a Pen Game Elite membership. The free tier gives you access to all of these videos that I post on YouTube and a community of people where you can engage. But I do have the membership plus, okay? You can join that for $50 a month or $500 a year. And I will actually go in and do all of the grunt work for you. If you're not registering your songs on your PROs, if you're not with Song Trust or the MLC, if all your collection agencies and all of that stuff are not up to par or up to date, I will go in there and update all of that for you. If you need help uploading your music to a distributor like DistroKid, United Masters, etc., and you've been making mistakes, you've been claiming content ID on material that you really don't own, hey man, stop stealing people's money. If you do this stuff the right way, you're gonna make it anyway, okay? You can join the membership plus, and again, I will do the work for you, and you're gonna get a free consultation every month just for joining. You're also gonna get the 2 books for free soon as you join the membership plus. All right, much love and respect. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.